Oh, is this a perfect Sunday or what? Hey, a little line of storms coming through. Actually, we're blocked off. What is that? Oh, I love storms that come through. Oh, we're getting blocked off. Oh, well. But, oh, yeah, looking south. Woo. That stuff? Woo. Cool. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much the first date was, a lot of unanticipated things happened. Trying to think if I had anything else. No. But yeah, it's uncanny what I look like with the shirt soaking wet. But I kept my cool. Then I got in the cupboard. That was weird. Anyway, shtick. So these were the things for the script I had written for it. But, you know, being the Gamma Phi softball coach, and it's like, okay, that's funny. And just like, okay, just Rodney Dangerfield. When I worked at Chenzo's, Kevin, he would have the Rodney Dangerfield archives just memorized, and he would just, remember Dangerfield, or he'd just say the line, and it was pretty funny. But, oh yeah. So, that was a Gamma Phi, and so, I don't know. But then wrapping up with the July 4th party, it was pretty neat. It was cheesy, but, you know, met her family and stuff, and it all seemed to, but I just couldn't, when I say seal the deal, I mean just kiss. So just settle down, you new age people that, anyway, you hook up. Jeez. Anyway, hold on. So my brother had gotten married that summer. And this was he and Patty going to drive out to Boston where they got their first house. Or he started a company called Telaware. And, oh my God, Karen, this is my cousin. Oh my God. pretty wild. I said there were no pictures. I just found, this isn't blocked out for any reason. It was, I can't remember why it got blocked off. Oh, there's a picture overlapping it. That was it. Yeah, I mean, I can show why that happened, but yeah, there's Kathy. There's, yeah. Those should be prison stripes. There's Nana. There's the Queen of England. She's just turning into a lizard. Blah. There's Aunt Charlotte, my mother's sister. There's Carolyn. There's Graham. That guy's balder than a cue ball right now. Oh, okay, right now he is. Now, last image I saw of him, he's still in New York. Eternal bachelorhood. Now, Becky, we've got some history to go back on with, Becky came to my wedding with, Mickey and stayed at our house, and we caught up. But she was doing little dirty tricks for Alan and Patty, giving them surveillance, not knowing it. That's what Becky's smart, but these guys were saying, oh, we care about him so much, just let us know how he's doing. No, they want to know what I'm doing as far as police reports and stuff like that. But then Carolyn at my mother's funeral, like one of the luncheon things, now I got to tell that story. I know I'm hopping and skipping, but I don't care. It's just laying out while I got the image here. That Carolyn, we were at this dinner or afternoon lunch thing, and Carolyn goes, yeah, you know what, Brian, you're always the cool cousin. And Alan, he's got that little, that's his, he always had that little snide, yeah, look at that. That little, Anyway, I don't mean to pick on him. But yeah, Aunt Charlotte, boy, she's got the butch haircut. Wow. I don't know. Now that's interesting. Because these guys hated each other, supposedly. Miles hated him. Tom was an architect in New York. Yeah, because that's interesting. She's a little butch there. Anyway, I don't want to speculate, but yeah, 6 years younger than my mother. And old cousin Becky had some dependency issues with recreational drugs, and kind of had her ins and outs and had a few attempts at things, but she pulled through, and I hope she's doing great today. But she tried to play both sides of the fence, and when she got caught, she certainly didn't play on my side of the yard. But anyway, Tom, he's an architect that worked on Battery Park for downtown New York, and allegedly was kind of a big deal. And something happened, and he ended up in Boston, like exiled from New York work. So I think they were just separated because they never got divorced, but there's just strife. Sorry to keep doing that. There was strife. But we never really got to know them. You know, it's like they came out for Alan's wedding, and I invited Kathy along to go up to Lake Geneva. Oh, wait till we get to that. Oh, that was a date. That was a date. Yeah, I cooked Carolyn birthday dinner. We got a whole thing with spaghetti dinner. In fact, we have to do it this one. But yeah, Cousin Becky thought I was the cool cousin. She only had two. It's like, oh, Snidely Whiplash or guy in the picture with a... No, I don't have a cast, but... Oh, no, not cast yet. I didn't know about the cast. I found out about the cast the day before Kathy left for Houston. And then that will account for why. That will account for that. Because the same weekend that I found out I had to have knee surgery, Kathy took off. I never got to say goodbye to her in person. And then I was invited to someone's wedding. I think John, I'll think of it. John something. Oh, I can't believe it. I can't remember. But I was exhausted. Well, there's beverage. I'm sure there's beverage. But I was exhausted. And then it was like, so exhausted. They could do that. That's why I was telling you that picture was cropped out, and that's why I put in the black. But yeah, they took advantage. But I was out. Out. But mental exhaustion. But hold on. But you have to admit that tweed coat looks pretty good. It's got the patches. I wore that good. So we went up to the Lake Geneva house. We bounced up. But it was Carolyn's birthday. So I invited Kathy to come up, meet the folks, even though we weren't dating, because I'm sure she pressed it, the fact that, look, I'm going to Houston, and I'm starting a new life, and so I'll go with little friends and stuff, but this isn't going anywhere, and I just couldn't, So I had written, okay, that's where I left off. So the awkward, after I dropped her off on our date, well, long evening of disasters, I said, I gotta tell you something, but I can't. So she started wondering that, well, what's going on? So I had written this 3-page letter saying, this thing in high school, and I met this girl, and I remember it's 3 pages because I was working downtown Chicago at, Lester B. Knight and Associates. Alan Starren was my boss I was doing cut and fill measurements for the Illinois and Indiana DOT. Oh my God, that was fun. Anyway, Al Starren went to a party, and I think Kathy went too. But anyway, that was the year of the baseball strike. Oh, bunch of knuckleheads. Anyway, so, because I took the train downtown Chicago, and on the way to and back, I would read this letter and make sure it's exactly what I wanted to write. Well, meanwhile, it's 2 weeks going by. Kathy has no idea what's going on. So she thinks and it ends up, she thought I got a girl pregnant. And that's why I couldn't make the goodnight thing. So, I mean, it's like, no, you kind of picked what was behind door number 2 and wasn't even close. It fit under the box. Because it was a faint memory from, 3 years? Anyway, so she goes, oh, don't, that's horrible. I mean, it's terrible what happened, but don't, you're shy. I get it, you're shy. It's why, I'm, kind of why she liked me, because I'm pretty safe. And, so, it's like, okay, probably let's make it up to you, or I want to make it up to you and come up to my mother's birthday, and I'm going to cook killer spaghetti. I was known for my killer spaghetti. Killer spaghetti is, you take a little bit of this, and a little bit of that, and my 14 cheese specialty, a little bit of that, and a little bit of that, and a lot of that, and okay, we got all the cheeses. They have to come in different packages to be considered a different cheese. Then a little bit of that. Oh, no. That's lasagna. I'm not doing lasagna. But shrooms? Oh, yeah. We had, no, not to that extent, but was killer spaghetti. Oh, so I got to be known for the killer spaghetti, and that's, but yeah, okay. You got to call it like it is. Yeah, okay. But yeah. But yeah, you got to mix these up. That's a no. That's a deal breaker if you don't have at least 2 of the 3. You got hot, sweet, and regular. And then Italian. Actually 4. So you need 2 out of 4, but 3 out of 4. Otherwise, it's not even spaghetti. Yeah, the onion shrooms. Then you do that. Then that's not exactly the end product. But the point of the story is, they meet Carolyn and Miles. She meets Miles and Carolyn. And she immediately senses there's something off about these people. I don't know how much I would have forewarned her, because I really didn't talk bad about my folks. They just didn't exist in my life. Meaning I never talked about them. Kathy met him. She, when someone's talking and you know that they don't see you, Kathy would look over at me like, what is her problem? And I was like, I don't know. Because I was in the kitchen cooking. Kathy would, that was it. I was in the kitchen cooking, and there's a little bay window between the kitchen and the porch. So I'd kind of see Kathy in between that bay window. I'd draw it out, but that's old. It takes too long. So Kathy would every now and then catch me like, what is with your mother? But they're parents, and Miles is just probably ogling Kathy because she was extremely attractive. And I don't want to even go there. But he never says anything at social events. He just sits there. And I shouldn't pick on him because I'm probably that way too. But he's just creepy quiet. Anyway, not to rag on him. He's got enough of his own issues, as we all do. Anyway, point being is that Kathy, my mother felt the challenge to get Kathy to like her, and in that process, put me down. And this is where the stuff came out of nowhere. That I know nothing about my childhood. Nothing. And all of a sudden this stuff comes out. Oh, in the 67 storm, we had to give the kids whiskey because we didn't have any heat, and we were scared that the kids wouldn't eat. And it was like, what? I remember the storm and Miles plowing the driveway. I don't remember. Maybe I do remember the whiskey a little bit. I mean, I kind of do, but never before that. I would have never thought of it. But, and then she goes, well, you were such a little shit when you were a little kid. And I'm sorry if that bothers people that I swore, but I'm quoting, so it's okay. She did. She pulled that out. And I won't say it again, but she had a couple others. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, you were such a little... And dig into it. It's like, you're always crying. I go, yeah, that's what babies do. But and the thing is, I know my mother's insecurity. And Carolyn was just, I want this person to like me more than Brian because I'm so insecure with my life. And that's how she was. And then Kathy was a teacher. Carolyn's a teacher. Then Carolyn had to do the whole thing with, I was a teacher in District U30 or District 300, and half my students are either dead or in prison. And I had to make this smart aleck comment of, yeah, probably because they had you as a teacher. Whoa, that set the tone. That set the tone because when I was cooking, that's why I have this in here, the water boiled over, and she ran in and berated me like a red-headed stepchild. Except I had auburn hair. Yeah, she just lit into me. How stupid, and how could you do this? Look at the kitchen, now I gotta clean it up, and and all I did was break through that little nervous mother hating her life and gave her a reason to come after me. And honest to God, it's me crying. But, and so it obviously threw me for a loop. Deadbeat fathers out there not even saying anything. And it got bad because then there's tension in the air. And so we kind of rushed through dinner and nothing. I mean, she did. It was kind of like you're dying comment in the hospital in high school. Which people at this point, if you've stuck on this long, you know what that is. But absolute buzzkill of everything that was going on. Because we're laughing, we got a little wine going, and I wasn't doing the sneaky thing back then. But nervous and probably taking a little bit bigger sip than usual. But I wasn't abusing at that point. I was hovering but not abusing. I was dipping my toes in the pool, but the water wasn't quite right yet. But not that that's funny, but it's pretty accurate analogy. And she did. So the rest of the evening, and I was so visibly upset, meaning like you just blew. I came out of nowhere with all the groceries and all the wine and all this to kind of surprise you and stuff. And that, oh, I forgot about that. Because how did Kathy know about the moving? Because Alan's wedding was June 20. See, I'm mixing events. Alan and Patty got married in June, like the 23rd. And that's why Charlotte and Tom, the family was out. So Kathy came to that. But Carolyn's birthday is July 30th. So maybe, see, I had put myself at Kathy's feet several times. And now I'm trying to think of the premise for the moving trip. But whatever. I mean, there's nothing nefarious going on. I just thought it was all the one weekend. But no, Alan and Patty got married in June. And Charlotte and them would never come out for just a move or something. No, they came out for Alan's wedding. So, anyway, it's kind of irrelevant. It's just me just wanting to get it accurate, precise or inaccurate. So Kathy knew I was upset. And she goes, well, let's just go for a walk. And we snuck out a bottle of wine. That's pretty cool. So we went down the docks and had some wine, and it was good. It was good. It settled down. I didn't care about it. But it pushed me over the edge of Oh, now she likes me. Kathy is probably like, that was the worst thing I've ever done, is kiss this guy who's just an emotional train wreck, and try and comfort him a little bit. And so let's just give him a kiss so he gets a little bit, so he's not pouting about things. And that's what happened. And it's just like, oh, she likes me. And I'm trying to keep the levity going, but that's exactly what happened, because Carolyn's birthday is July 30th. School starts in the fall at Purdue in August. And that wedding was before school started. So I'm not going to go through the calendar and be all specific. But I quit the week I quit work. Oh, I've got a funny quick story at Lester B. Knight. But when the week I quit the job, and Kathy was leaving, and I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to her. And I found out I had to have emergency knee surgery, like on Monday, because he looked at my knee and he goes, that bone graft is loose. He could turn it. Hold on. The only reason I'm using this is because I couldn't find any pictures, but that was the implant that they had screwed in. And when I went to see Dr. Kane, he was the head of Northwestern Orthopedics, downtown Chicago. So Dr. Wohl cut him up the first 2 times, and then Dr. Kane goes, whoa, and you could turn this. I mean, it was under my skin, but the screws were not sticking out, but up. And he goes, it's all mush. So we got to redo that. So he goes, no, you can't go on for very long. So that was come in, like I saw him on a Thursday, and went to that wedding. Kathy had left, and then on Monday I had the surgery. And 3 weeks after surgery, I'm doing this, because this was before school started. And I had to get all that in, so anyway. Oh, it's too fun. It was too fun. But yeah, talk about a whirlwind 3 weeks. But that Lester B. Knight story, hold on. This is astounding. It's a law firm now? What? I swear. This was one of the most renowned engineering firms in Chicago. 549 Randolph, that's exactly where it was. What is going on? Law? They don't even have a website. God, I have no idea what's going on. Yeah, we were right. I used to walk over here at lunch and eat a little peanut butter sandwich, and then walk peanut butter sandwich and 7-Up every day. And then go back. And then Miles, he did the proverbial, would you like to go out to lunch sometime? Sure. Can I feel insecure around you? Yep, son, you can. Anyway, this is astounding. But anyway, Lester B. Knight, see, engineering consultant, he was such a big deal. Founded Lester B. Knight and Associates in Chicago in 1945. I mean, submicron structures? So, I mean, I couldn't even find any pictures of him, because the story is, he had one of these old Rolls-Royce original cars. And it was when the bidding for the new Chicago Library, which is now 30 plus years old, was being displayed downtown for a city hall meeting. And so there's a model, because it was my arm's length, probably 5.5 feet, 6 feet wide, that I had to carry this thing, and I wiped out the buildings on both sides because my arm's trying to fit around it, carrying it. But I got it in this car. And Alan Stern goes, have you ever met, they called him like the man or the old man or whatever, because he was an old guy, but he was still bouncing around. And this was 81. He died in 89. How old was he? 81? Oh, okay. 89. So in 81, he was 7 years younger, 74. Wow. And I didn't break anything. So, and it was like, okay, back to this. Have you ever met the old man? I think that's what he said. No. He goes, well, he's just kind of, just don't say anything, don't interact, just take him. He needs to get to City Hall for the presentation of the new library. Never shut it off. Anyway, so you guys get the idea of, the model, and then I wiped out that building and that one because my arm's trying to carry it. Anyway, so we're going back. So things were awkward with Kathy and I called her up, and it was just horrible phone conversation, because I was, instead of just enjoying the conversation, was going through my head was, I'm not going to talk to this person again for 2 or 3 weeks. And that's the only thing I could think of. Instead of engaging in the conversation, I'm not going to talk to her for, and I'd look forward to making that call, and I can't imagine how uncomfortable she was, because she's a sweet girl. Oh, then Ray came along, and no, I'm kidding. Anyway, so Thanksgiving came up, and here I go again, and I'm really realizing how often I do this. I say, this is a long one. I call her up and say, look, I'm going to be in Houston for an interview at Marathon. Can we at least, get together for, fine. Come down. How are you getting down? Oh, I'm driving down. Well, aren't they flying you? No, I'm doing it on my own. And I did. I had to rent a wreck. So Thanksgiving comes along. In fact, I've got a whole thing set up. Hold on. Yep. Using Thanksgiving. Yep. Oh, we're locked and loaded, I think. Yeah, we are. We are locked and loaded for a story. A story of stories. Oh, this is bad. Funny for you. Hold on. Okay. I gotta hide everything for my own little benefit. The thing you have to keep in mind is, when I lie, I usually dance around the truth a little bit, and I think that that's strong enough to make it not a lie, which is ridiculous. I get it. I called Kathy up and said, I've got this interview at Marathon. The truth was, I called up Marathon. I talked to Nancy Thielen, who had come to Purdue for interviews that fall. Got to meet her and all the scoop about, Marathon Oil and some oil. You're in Houston, right? That's all you need to know. You have your headquarters in Houston. So if I got a job from you, I'd be in Houston. Is that right? Yeah, but don't you want to know? No. Just you're in Houston. That's good enough for me. I don't care if you sell donuts. If you hire me, I'm moving to Houston, right? Okay. So Nancy said, here's my card, and if you happen to get in the area, then stop by and we'll see what we can do. So I called up Nancy so I'd arranged to come down to Houston over Thanksgiving. I don't know if I said that before. Because I'm getting hopped up because now it's all locked and loaded, so I got to go through it. Remember, I did all this 2 years ago when I wanted to give my testimony and couldn't do it. So, anyway. So I called Nancy the week of Thanksgiving on Tuesday, saying, I'm going to be there tomorrow. Is there a chance we can, stop by? She says, well, it's Thanksgiving week and there's no one really around. You can try. I said, okay. She goes, well, just don't make any commitments because I don't know what's going on. And I said, that doesn't matter, but you're in Houston and I'm going to drive down tonight And so when I show up tomorrow, you're going to be there, and you're in Houston, right? Right, okay. So can you kind of figure out what my priorities were? So I rent a wreck, and I can't remember if it had a radio. Oh, sure it did. Absolutely did. I'll tell you what. Well, no, it's not part of it, but anyway, I had a radio. So I get down there, drive straight through the night. Not even a challenge. It's like, not even a challenge. Come on. I'm what? This is 1981? Fall of 81? My fall of 81? Seems like every year that I go through a fall. Yeah, so I was 21, baby. I was rocking adulthood. Wearing it thin. So I get down there at like 1:30 in the afternoon. Kathy doesn't get out of school till 3:30, and she said, meet me. See, now I'm trying to remember. I was going to meet her. I think I had her. Yeah. I had her apartment address. And so when I'm down there, I get on 610, and I go and I find the apartment complex. But it's way too soon. So I go back out, and I find 610. So it's closer to Iowa. And so I get on the 610 loop, which is like this for the first time. So if you're a hayseed engineer from Chicago, you start seeing this, and you're like, oh, is Blade Runner? Well, Blade Runner's 10 years away, whatever. But it's like, So you go through all that, and then you get these it's like, whoa, and I know it's since then, but it's unique. And so I'm driving around the loop, and it takes me 45 minutes to do a complete, it's astounding. Look at earthquake zone 0? No, I think you're 1. Anyway, I don't know. I'm an earthquake engineer in grad school. How would I know these things? So I do the 610 loop. 45 minutes. And I'm like, well, that killed, now it's 2:15. This has to go. And then it gets another, then all of a sudden, it starts backing up. And then it's just like, oh, God, what is this? I came down there in the afternoon, it was like this. You know, I had free range to get lost. But once that is like, now which lane? It's like, oh God, which lane am I in? And I think that's the last one, but yeah. So there I got gridlocked here's the other one of the loop. Oh my God. I skipped the whole marathon morning though. So I got down there. Oh, God. All right. So I go to Marathon, but I don't have an address. How many marathons can there be? Let me see if I did this. All right. How many different marathons can there be? Oh, yeah, here it is. It's like, there's one marathon, right? Right? There's one marathon. They got to be in the phone book because they're in Houston. Remember, I'm 21. I'm an adult now. And we'll play that theme song in a second. Well, sometime. And so I go to a phone book, and it says marathon. All I see is marathon. Marathon. And it's at this in the street. It's like, okay. And I'm sure I asked someone, where is this? They go, well, down here, down here, down here, down here. So I'm way on the inside of the loop. So I go in, and I talked to Nancy that morning. She goes, well, you can stop by, but I can't guarantee you anything. And so I go down. It's like 10 o'clock because I did get down there early. I go in, and it's Marathon Petroleum Corporation. But I don't know the silly difference between Marathon Oil, Marathon Petroleum. It's just black goo. It still is for that point. And I go to the front desk, and this is a downtown facility. And I had to change my clothes because that's what this is about. This was about that I drove down in street clothes but had to get change of clothes for my interview, and this place was right downtown, and there was nowhere to dodge in to change my clothes. So I just in the middle of the street just said, I don't care. All I'm doing is changing my pants. That's cool. Because, a shirt, who cares? But the pants, there's, and those were Fruit of the Loom days. It was like, oh, God. At least could have had boxers and be a little cool. No, that's a long way away. That's 19 years away from changing. Oh, God. So I did my little change. And yeah, okay. And I put on my tie and stuff. That's why I had that. That's good. And I go into the lobby. Let me see if I've got the lobby. So I went into the lobby. This is the lobby at the new tower. So this kind of got jumbled around, but I went to the lobby and asked for Nancy Thielen. The gal kind of looked at me and said, well, I don't know of any Nancy, but let me check. And this was, it probably looked like a 100-person type facility. So it wasn't a big corporation, it looked like. Kind of a small-time operation. But anyway, so, long story short is she finally goes, are you sure you've got the right? Because I don't know any Nancy. I've looked in the directory. I don't see any Nancy. Are you sure you're in the right spot? And I said, Marathon Oil, isn't it? And she said, nah, this is Marathon Petroleum. It's just a little bit different. So, yeah, we ended up getting that straight, and then I'll go back to the original recording here. So the gal the front desk helped me, and she finally got Nancy at Marathon Oil, and that's when I finally talked to her. And Nancy said, look, there's really no one here, so it's not even worth you stopping by, but, keep us in mind and everything else. And I said, fine. The poor gal at the front, I was going to go show the picture when I passed out on the bed. I'm sure I wore that exact same thing. So I liked the pants and the jacket and everything worked, but I threw on a tie at the last minute, so kind of the norm back then for me. Anyway, so that was 10 to 11, and it's hotter than anything out. This is the week of Thanksgiving. So I get on the road, and that's why I was like, there's a lot of time. But I remember in the afternoon, it was when it was real. I could go around, it'd be 45 minutes, go around again, another 45 minutes. But even that wasn't killing enough time. Oh, you're not supposed to see it. We're going to wrap this up. We'll pick it up when I'm stuck in traffic. Bye.